From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Furniture and Mattress 86 is stocked with mattresses. Mattresses starting at $149. Try our 120-night trial. Mattresses come with a 20-year warranty. Up to 72 months, 0 interest. Free local delivery and pickup. Furniture and Mattress 86 on Merchant Avenue across from the post office in Reading. If you find it for less, you should buy it.
Good evening, everyone. Well, as you may or may not know, the Reading Rodeo is sold out for Friday and Saturday night. But you still have a chance to get to the rodeo if you're a big fan, because there still are tickets available for Wednesday and Thursday, but for how long? Well, it's not a bad idea to get on that train right away. Go to readingrodeo.com and get your tickets right away. You want to make sure you can at least try to get the seats you like. You can also go to you can call the box office at area code 530-241-8559. And you also have a chance to win free tickets. Yes, I've got a Reading Rodeo ticket giveaway here for next week. I'll be giving those tickets away. And to enter, all you got to do is email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com, or just go to weathernorcal.com, click on contacts, fill out the form, and you're good to go. All right, so get those entries in right away too. Want to make sure you have a chance to win those tickets. So we're at a warming trend through Saturday. You may have already noticed those temperatures have already increased today. They're going to increase a little bit more here for your Friday and Saturday, with temperatures mainly expected to be in the low 90s. Some of the warmer spots may touch the mid 90s, but mainly in the low 90s. That's through the next couple of days. But much cooler weather by early next week. By Monday, we're going from low 90s on Saturday to mid 60s on average for the valley by Monday. And on top of that, even a chance for some rain. And then after that, we're going to Tuesday through next week, we're talking about a gradual warm up in those temperatures. Now, more on all of that a little bit later. Let's get you through Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday, May 8th. Now, we're going to start off with our temperatures overnight tonight, dropping down mainly in the upper 50s for the valley, 30s and 40s, mainly 40s though, really for the higher elevations. And I do expect temperatures in the low to mid 40s here for the coast, just some of that fog developing here, especially out towards Humboldt Bay and parts of Humboldt County in general. So out the door tomorrow morning, I think we're going to see a few more clouds, but overall mainly sunny and fairly mild. I think we're going to see some of the low clouds and fog for the coast again, but that will most likely burn off as we do go through the late morning and early afternoon hours. High pressure is that dominant feature. The thing is, though, with this high pressure, yes, it's building and getting a little bit stronger. But all of this whole pattern that you see here, it's just going to be shifting eastward. So the heat will eventually shift off toward east. This cooler air here from the Gulf of Alaska will eventually work its way over us. That'll be the cooler temperatures, and also that'll be the source for some of that rain that we're going to see in the forecast too. So still a few more days before that happens, because as we go through the day on Friday, what we've got here tomorrow morning, some of the fog along the coast, and mainly clear skies, although there are going to be a few spots that could see some clouds, especially for the afternoon on Friday, but still looking at dry conditions, and more fog developing again for Friday night and into early Saturday morning. All right, so here's your forecast for your Friday. There are those low 90s I was talking about in the valley, 80s for most of us in the higher elevations, and temperatures probably somewhere in the upper 50s to even some low 60s for the coast on your Friday. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast for the valley. There are those low 90s for tomorrow and Saturday. Temperatures start to drop on Mother's Day, but still very pleasant. Much cooler, upper 60s, mid to upper 60s by Monday, and some showers. And then we're dry and just a gradual, see how the temperatures are just kind of ticking upward as we go for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that trend will continue into Friday and Saturday of that next week. There's your coast, inland, and for Trinity County. Dry through Sunday. Now, there may be some showers as early as Sunday. We'll take a closer look at that in your deeper dive here in a second, but this is the main event. It's Monday. But there actually may be another chance for some mountain and coastal showers on Thursday, but remaining dry for the valley. There you can see for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, also mainly dry through the weekend, maybe some showers possibly as early as Sunday, but again, that main event is on Monday, and maybe some showers developing once again next Thursday, but those chances are looking pretty slim. All right, before we get to the deeper dive forecast, I want to mention that there is a free Weather NorCal app. All you got to do is go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, Put a space between the two words, by the way. Download the app for free, and you have got the most comprehensive and the best local. The key word is local, folks. We're all about local, Northern California, and that's what this app is all about. Get it for free today. All right, so once again, we've got this ridge of high pressure right here. This whole pattern is shifting eastward. The heat associated with that will continue to be over us. The cooler air here will eventually be over us by the really second half of the week, and in particular early next week. So once again, we take a look at futurecast here over the next couple of days. There's the fog here for tonight, tomorrow morning for the coast. Otherwise, that will burn off by midday, afternoon, clearing skies. Some afternoon clouds, especially for the higher elevations, Friday afternoon. Friday night, Saturday morning, more of the typical spots that we'll see the fog develop again here for Saturday morning on the coast. Saturday afternoon, that burns off. More sunshine, eventually some more afternoon clouds for some of the higher elevations. And you can see some of the rain that's going to try to move in here as we go into your Sunday, but don't count on much, if anything. Now, I want to show you the longer range. You can see this is the trough of low pressure right here, okay? When we talk about trough of low pressure, typically we're talking about cooler air. So the cooler air from the north kind of pulls down within this area of low pressure. But we also tend to see some instability with these areas of low pressure, and that's what helps to bring us the clouds and the showers. So by Sunday, there may be a few showers that could develop in some of the higher elevations, maybe along the coast. Is this going to be a big deal? Most likely not. Nothing to be concerned about. It's Monday that you can see the spin in the low pressure system. This trough of low pressure is pretty much overhead. We're going to be looking at a chance for rain for everyone. Now, I think the heaviest rain will be in the mountains and along the coast, just not as much here for the valley. Snow levels, by the way, probably somewhere around 6,000 feet or higher. But by Monday night into Tuesday, that shifts eastward. We are dry by Tuesday, and looks like we're dry by Wednesday. But you can see right here, we are seeing some thunderstorms trying to develop here in the Sierra. That could also extend into your Thursday as well. Just depends on which forecast model you look at. But what we've got here is another ridge of high pressure building in and slowly seeing those temperatures increase going through next week. And I do expect mainly dry conditions through next week as well, with the exception of Monday. So you look at this, you look at the rainfall total, you're like, look at this, today through Wednesday, you're like, oh my gosh, is it going to rain on Wednesday? No. This is taking the next 7 days through Wednesday, and this is the overall accumulation. Now, most of what you see here on the map is Monday. Monday is the day we're going to see most of the rainfall. So I think a few hundredths to maybe a tenth of an inch of rainfall in the valley. That will be the extent of it for the valley. A little bit more with about a quarter of an inch in the higher elevations, and maybe even upwards of a half an inch or more for parts of the coast. Pretty typical for this time of the year as we see most of the rain in the higher elevations and along the coast. So another roller coaster ride, right? Because temperatures are warming up over the next couple of days. That ridge of high pressure will be off to our east by Saturday. That will open the door for this cooler air to move on in. Temperatures drop. We drop back down into the mid to upper 60s for the valley on Monday, with, of course, that rain I was talking about. That moves out, but then another little shot of cooler air comes down on Wednesday. Now, this isn't going to be as cool as this one. It's going to keep the temperatures at bay, but eventually as the temperatures start to increase, we're going to be back up in the upper 80s and even some low 90s by the end of next week and into that next weekend. So let's look at the 10-day trend. Peaking, dropping, and then another increase in our temperatures. Again, is that roller coaster ride as temperatures start to climb back up through next week. All right, let's take a look at those wave heights for your Friday. They're not going to change much. We take a look at your wave heights for your Saturday. They're actually dropping a little bit here. So this is obviously good news if you do need to be on a small boat and fishing, for example. So for tonight, upper 50s to about 60 for the valley. 30s, mainly 40s for the higher elevations, and somewhere, we'll call it mid-40s, give or take, here for the coast. Your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, mainly in the upper 80s, maybe around 90 degrees for Douglas City, 81 degrees in Ruth. We're mainly dry through the weekend. It's Sunday. We could start to see some showers in some areas here, but mainly on Monday. Monday is, as I call it, the main event. That's when we expect most of the rain to fall. On either side of that, Sunday and Tuesday, there may be some showers that may develop for some of the higher elevations and even some of the inland areas as well. Siskiyou County, low to mid 80s for your daytime highs. Temperatures are going to start to drop, especially by the time we get into Sunday, and even cooler by Monday. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, mainly in the upper 70s to low 80s. Now again, I've got that chance for showers in there on Thursday. That model that I was showing you, the American model, not so much. It's the European forecast model that's a little bit more aggressive with that potential. There you can see the eastern mountains. You've got temperatures in the low to mid 80s, 81 degrees for Chester, 84 in Paradise, and 81 degrees out in Portola. Let's take you out to the valley to the south. It's getting warmer out there. Now we're talking low, maybe some mid 90s for some of the warmer spots here, but generally in the low 90s. And then you can see we keep it that way through Saturday. Temperatures drop on Mother's Day. There's that chance for rain on Monday with temperatures in the upper 60s. And then temperatures slowly creeping back up as we go through next week. Reading, a high of 93 tomorrow, 92 for Cottonwood and Red Bluff, 93 in Palo Cedro, Lakehead about 87, as well as Whiskeytown. We take a look at your 7-day forecast for Reading. Those temperatures in the low 90s for your Friday, Saturday, low 80s on Sunday, we'll take it. And even cooler on Monday with a high of 66, that chance for rain, slowly creeping those temperatures up or working their way back up. Nothing creepy about it. 75 degrees for Tuesday, around 80 on Wednesday, and somewhere in the mid 80s by the time we get into Thursday. That's your evening update. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with our latest update and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great night.
This May, get active with the Shasta Bike Month and Challenge. For both beginner and experienced cyclists, you can ride anywhere, anytime during the month of May. Whether it's to work, the store, or a leisurely spin on a trail, every ride counts. Join the challenge and log your rides with the Love to Ride platform. Compete as a team of coworkers, friends, or family. Every bike ride you take earns you chances to win local prizes. Sign up today at ShastaBikeChallenge.org.